Good evening, everybody. It's time again for your Rowdies Talk Radio, the Green and Gold Gospel.
Hey there, little Red Riding Hood, I got a problem and it's complicated. Going through changes and I just can't ignore the signs. They're there now and it's so loud it hurts. Hear me growl and hear me howl when the full moon is out. Hear me growl, you see me run, you see me jump. Try to fight, but I emerge with the prize in hand. You better watch out, it's gonna take more than what you got. All eyes are on me and the silence is deafening. There's no help against this full moon. Don't ever say I didn't warn you, because I came to play, came to play, I came to play, came to play, I came to play, came to play, I came to play. Wow!
Hello, Rowdies fans, and welcome to the Unused Substitutes. I am one of your hosts, Dan, joined today by someone who has more opinions than he does hair on his head, Ben Wilcox. Nice for you to join us. Thanks.
You know, I want to get mad at that, but seeing as how you just saw my hairline, that's a fact.
That's what
So,
inspired it. It was the
you know, I'm not mad about this. I'm going to accept that, and that's actually very true. So we'll have at it. Yeah, man, I'm good. It's good. It's good to see you on here again. I'm sure people will enjoy to see your face again. You have been all over the place, and yet not here. But we weren't mad at you. We tried to carry along as best we could, but it's good to see you around again, my man.
It's good to be back. I mean, it's been absolutely hectic between moving, as you hopefully people that have watched this or can notice a completely different background behind me, and then like my birthday, and then people were visiting, and then people swan dove off roofs and broke necks, and it's been absolute chaos. Everybody's alive, everybody's good, we're in a new space, everything's good. So yeah, it's good to be back and actually being able to watch the Rowdies and be able to talk about, and we're winning.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about. I mean, we'll forget the Jägermeister Cup. That was a dumb cup anyway. We hated it. It was nothing. Why would you go all in on that? It's a dumb new cup anyway.
Never put any stock in that ever at all.
Yeah,
Not
no.
at all.
Never. But yeah, we won last two league games in a row, and I think we've won like 4 out of 5 or something like that. Like where
4
we've
to 5 games
gotten points
correct.
out of like 4 out of 5. So like, before we dive into the game, it's just like I think it's a credit to Steve Coleman for staunching the bleeding, and then Dom coming in and like actually getting us going, and the credit for the players for responding and continuing to give it their all. We're definitely not out of the, we're not in the clear yet, as you can tell by that performance against Charleston, but we're getting there. We have 2 games in hand on Birmingham and only 2 points behind them, and only like 4 points behind 6th place. Currently the table is absolutely insane to me. But let's dive in. We played Indy this weekend at Indy, won 2-1, and it was, I don't know if it's in 3-1. Yes, you're right. Sorry, that last minute goal. You're right. The Alvarez goal I shut down after. It was so good. But Skinner scoring in 2 games back to back, the Jaeger in this one, so credit to him too. I don't know, I am scared to put too much stock in it because we beat Indy 3-1 earlier in the season as well, and is it Indy just that bad against us, or have we really turned the corner? But we can dive in. We scored early. Woobens, the constant goal threat, scored in the 12th minute. That was a beautiful movement going forward. I enjoyed that. And then I'll have you go deeper, but and then when they scored off that header, it felt like, here we go again, 1-1 it, and here we go, pissing away 3 points. But let's end it. We will talk about that in the second half. What was your first half takeaways? What did you see? What did you like? What didn't you like? What were your thoughts there?
Yeah, I mean, well, and I talked about it on the last couple weeks of shows, as we have to come out with attitude and purpose and punch a team in the mouth, and we did that. And I know I've been kind of writing, Wubin's a little bit as far as his defensive abilities, and maybe there's somebody said there. To be fair, Jonathan Silva called me out on last week's pod. He's like, I don't care. I just want to see the strong team go forward. It needs to be starting. He's right. I mean, he does need to be starting. I mean, and it showed. It showed in this game. I think to something you tipped on with Coleman kind of rewriting the ship and bringing stability, and now Cassiano coming in and starting to implement his plan. I think this is the first game we really started to see more of that. We were much more dangerous in the final third than I think we have been, and pretty much most of the season so far. Yeah, that might partially be because it's Indy. I mean, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, Indy had a couple of chances right in front of net that, let's be honest, should have been to the back of the net. But I mean, look, I mean, we have chances too that we didn't put in. I mean, Arteaga had one inside the 6-yard box, for Christ's sake. So, I mean, coulda, shoulda, woulda, but whatever. But that sequence with Passius, which, by the way, we saw something out of him in this game that I don't think we've seen before, his hold-up game. He was really doing well with a player on his back. He created this play by playing off to Moon, making the run into the 18-yard box. Moon made a beautiful pass into him, and Lubic just put his fucking laces through the ball. Excuse my language. But I mean, he just put his freaking laces right through that ball. I mean, it was beautiful. I mean, the keeper didn't have a chance to even react. I mean, it was awesome. I mean, it was all the attitude that we needed to see from him, and I think from the team. I mean, you saw the entire team lit up for him. And I think, again, this is a sign of what Steve Coleman started to build, that character within the team that he started to build, that it really shows these guys really rally around one another for whatever we think, we might be going on behind the scenes or whatever we see. I mean, if you look at the players and the way they react to one another, that's all I need to know about how this team feels about each other. And that's a good feeling going into even a struggling team into a later part of a season where we got to string some wins together. I mean, the good news is we have a lot of lower level teams to go against to write that. But if this team can build on this, you're right, I don't want to get too high on it, but if they can build on this, there's definitely potential there to get ourselves in a good place. And then you're right, that goal they scored, I went back and watched it a couple of times, and it's just like, how do you let the most dangerous striker on their team, their big guy at that, get in behind somewhere between White and Castellanos? It broke down, and he's wide open, but just barely. I mean, Bondre had no chance. I mean, there was no chance on that one. But you're right. It's just like crap. And we could have gone at halftime, 1-up, riding real high. And instead, you're like, your fear as a fan is like, shit, here we go again. Like, are we going to let this team back in by giving up that late first half goal? But I mean, the team came out in the second half, and I think they proved that wasn't going to be the case. So, but as a whole, I was really happy with the first half. I thought the attitude was good. I thought the starting lineup was strong. I like the way we played ourselves. I mean, if you look at the player selection, I mean, Alvarez, Passius, Crisostomo, Wyke, Moon, Bodley, Hilton, Guillen, Castellanos, Van Gizil, Bondre. I mean, obviously barring some injuries, that's really the best 11 we've got right now, and it was the most dangerous, and it showed, and they played well.
Since you just ran through the lineup, I have a special comment that is at USL.
All right.
They want to implement Pro Rel. They want to have a first division league. Before you do that, get professional broadcasters. Like, we are deep into this league's history now. Like, it is strong. You can't have, I don't mind the homerism. That's fine. Our guys are homers, but at least get people that will do the research to pronounce players' names. The way these guys were saying Crisostomo, the way they were saying even Alvarez, like, it's inexcusable. And like, I'm not even saying like the Tampa thing, which is annoying to us. And my thing has always been, I used to get the match notes that used to have the brand guidelines in them. And if anybody flipped through that before doing it, it would tell you never to refer to us as Tampa. But that's a pet peeve. That's not really it. But pronouncing people's names is the baseline of good. So if we're going to continue to do this and you want to be taken seriously as leagues, do something about these announcers. Mike Watts and Devin Kirk, great. They are obviously elite, top tier, whatever. But they can't cover every single game. And like, it is bad and it is frustrating and it is disrespectful. Like, these guys are professional athletes. We should have at least people willing to care enough to learn how to pronounce their names calling these games. So that's it. Really, usually the Tampa stuff doesn't. I like to make jokes, but the way these guys couldn't pronounce names was really getting to me this week, and it was just like repeated. So I need to get off my chest. Like, please hire actual announcers and like make the teams, put this work in, because it's a bad reflection on, like, I think there was a discussion a few years ago. I think the USL show did it, where like they asked fans if they watch more than just their team. And it's in the USL, it's so low that most people only watch their team and sometimes not even watching them away. And it's like, this is why I can't stand listening to an away broadcast. I can't even pronounce my players' names. You want to up your product, put a better product on television. So anyway, rant over. Let's move. That was our halftime rant. Second half comes out, and Alvarez, who they were calling like I don't even remember how it was like Alvarez, I think it was. Like, it was just it was so bad. But he scores the winning goal and his first USL championship goal and his first goal for the Rowdies, obviously. And then Skinner, we've been riding Arteaga hard. His production has not been there, but his unselfish pass off to Skinner in that play was a veteran and selfless move, and I will give him credit for that after he ran most of that half field there and made that play happen. So shout out to Arteaga there. Skinner just buried it for his second goal in 2 games, and the Rowdies coasted and brought all 3 points, well, to North Carolina, since they're not really coming to St. Pete. But it was good. It was fun. That second half was great. And it just shows, you called it early, that Alvarez was coming in and bringing something different, bringing an energy, can score. And like, that has been something we're lacking. If Woobens isn't scoring, there's no secondary scoring. So like, if Skinner's scoring and Alvarez is starting to get goals, that is a good sign, because then they don't have to just clog up our, Woobens, because Arteaga is not scoring. Like, so we needed goals to come elsewhere. And if they're going to come from Skinner and Alvarez, great. But what did you see in the second half? How did you feel coming out of that game?
Right. I mean, so like we went to the half, we're a little worried, right? Like, I mean, it's like the feeling that we had, and the team put their best foot forward and really they went after the game again. I mean, I think again, whatever Casiero is saying to these guys at halftime is obviously resonating with the players, and they are bought in. Something he talked about post game was about the buy-in from the players, not just the starting 11, but the players coming off the bench and their impact and their importance to the overall team win. And I say team win because all 11 players, including substitutes, are an integral part of these wins. Everyone's contributing on all levels. That Skinner, goal at second 1 of 2 games, that's coming off the bench and being an instant impact. And I've talked about him for weeks, about how he has really won me over the season. His ability to plug and play anywhere on the field, not just in that left wing spot with Bodily, but really anywhere you place him, he is an energy bunny that'll come on, and he can cause a problem for you. And I was really happy to see the way that we attacked the game. I mean, that's not to say that AD didn't have their opportunities in this game. There was a point when Ozikar was on the back line. Let's say it's a back post, and it could have been a penalty kick. I mean, obviously the guy kicked it first and missed, and then he went down afterwards. It looked like a dive. I was a little surprised, which I'm glad I said this, because I went back and forth to Jonathan Silva on this. My rant. John, it's okay to be wrong about the referee. I'm telling you, this guy was god-awful. If you blew in the direction of the opposing team, they would get a call. It was obnoxious. I'm not saying they didn't have some missed calls. Every ref misses calls. But when they're so blatantly bad, and again, this is a standard that they have set, not me. I didn't set the standard. I'm not out there blowing the whistle. I'm not out there going to training or the assessor. All right, I'm the guy watching this consistently bad product be put out there, while, to Dan's point, where we're trying to go into his pro rel and bigger, it was bad. Anyways, so he got that one right, thank God. But I mean, look, they had their chances, but I mean, it was not without us. I think playing, again, defensively, we were in the bend, don't break mindset, right? I mean, we let the one go in, but really beyond that, we didn't allow a lot of really great opportunities in this game. I will say, the thing that they exposed often was their speed up top, and we got burned quite a few times. And it's definitely a growing concern, because it forces that central defender to really have to peel out, whether it was Forrest or Castellanos, whoever ends up being in that central position at the time of the attack. They're having to cover and pull out of position and leave the middle exposed. And it's a continual problem. It's something that I don't know how we address this season, but it's something that going forward, we're really going to have a real honest talk with ourselves about what we want to be defensively. I think there's a few times there where, I mean, yeah, it's better to be lucky than good, but we were very lucky. But as a whole, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think off the top of my head, part of it is, as much as I love Crisostomo and Hilton, we don't have a number 6. We don't have a good holding defensive midfielder. Like, we had Doherty before he got moved to right back, and we had others that would fill that, or we're using Hilton to push up and not go and like as an attack instead of box to box and link, because we used to, like, Lewis used to, or Doherty used to fall back and cover that open space if the center defender got pulled back, but we don't, we're lacking that. And I don't know if that's by design, if the tactics are like, screw it, we're in last place, just balls to the wall, go. And if we get exposed, if we, like, but I think it's just completely lacking a good solid 6. I think it's a 6, 8, whatever position is that, like, holding like the defensive mid. But yeah, to your point, our defense is getting exposed, but I think it's because we're pushing a lot more. We are dumping numbers into attack, which is what we should be in the position that we're in. But continue. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, we've become pretty. I mean, I think it's fair. We've become kind of a counterattack team, and that's fine. I don't mind that. It's not necessarily the design I want to play, although we are seeing more possession in the midfield. Obviously, again with a 3-5-2, again throw whatever you want to that, whatever, right? It's a 3-5-2, whatever. But when you do that, it causes overloads in the midfield, which I think we've done very well with. And this grouping of players, I thought, handled it very well. But yes, I think to your point, you're probably right. I mean, it's like, it is more an aggressive, which is Cassiato's style of play. But again, I think we're going to need to find some pieces, I think, defensively. I think what we're doing right now, and maybe it's just, it takes time. Maybe it's just because of the season, whatever. I don't know, but the defense still scares me. I don't feel as confident as I have in years past, right? But on the other side, I mean, I thought the attack was well. I mean, you saw Azakar come in for Moon in the 64th. I thought we were texting back and forth, and you'd mentioned how happy you were with his play. I agree. I thought he did some flashes to things that were really nice, considering he's only had 2 weeks to train with the team. That comes with time. The guy's a veteran, though. I think, and Cassiano talked about this post game as well. You're going to see him go from strength to strength, week to week. He's a veteran. He knows what to do. He's been there. He knows his league. He knows his players. I think he'll be fine. Skinner coming on for Hilton, I think, made sense. Hilton, I thought, had a pretty good game, but Skinner, I think, is a little bit more of a game changer attacking. Plus, he offers us more pace and more variation as far as the positional play. Bassett coming on for Alvarez, I was a little surprised. I would have liked to see Alvarez go a little longer. However, I'm happy to see Bassett come on. Takamagawa's had a really turn of the season, right? Like, I mean, there was a time there when he was literally the only player on the team where you were just like, well, at least we got Bassett, right? We got a chance, right? And like, I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if there's something lingering, or maybe if he's just something in his head, or something going on there. I'd love to know, because he has not been the same since about 2-3 months ago. But whatever. And then, I mean, you had Lasso come on for Crisostomo, the 90+1. Same thing with Arteaga for Passius. I mean, yes, Arteaga, I mean, that was huge on him to get that third goal, to continue that play. I mean, that was just smart. Like, go get the ball, keep driving down the field. Even if the whistle gets called, he's probably still doing the same thing, because he knows he's wasting time, because it's our ball anyways, because quite frankly, that was a foul on Bassett. I think we were all pretty surprised that we didn't get that call, but whatever. I mean, look, you got to be opportunistic on your opportunities. Kudos to Arteaga for being smart enough to make that run. Boy, that man looked like he was walking on stilts, though. Holy crap. He was laboring. But, I mean, look, I hate dogging the guy, because he got us that third goal. But, yeah, I mean, to be selfless in that moment and get the ball over to Skinner, who, again, made a beautiful run to make himself available for the play should that come, and then slide in the back post, I thought was great. Look, I mean, there's, I think, as you look at this game as a whole, I think the big thing for me that I take away is at least it felt like, attacking-wise, we were more dangerous. And I don't think that was just because of Indy. I think the team is going to start becoming more attacking, because that is what Cassiato has preached. That is the pedigree he comes from teaching. I think you're going to see that going forward with this team. Plus, look, and you alluded to it, like, there's not a lot of time left. There's only teams above us only have so many more points. Either we go for it or we don't. And I would rather die going for it than playing safe and just hoping we get into the last game. Screw that. I mean, at this point, just go for it. Was there anything that kind of stood out for you?
I would think to kind of expand on one thing you were saying. The Skinner for Hilton swap is huge for me in the fact that like we're so used to, even under Neil Collins, very much like for like subs and barely really like full on tactical adjustments via subs. I do think moving Skinner changes the whole dynamic. And I've preached on the show for years upon years. I want a coach that has an actual plan B and not just like for like subs, because Ricky did like for like subs. Stu did like for like subs. Neil has done it. Robbie, I don't think ever had a real plan. Like, and that, so like, it's nice to see whether it's intentional or if it's just what's there. But it is nice to have a plan B, even when like to do that, because I think Skinner and Lewis definitely offer two very different skill sets and two very different styles of play. So like, you can say Bassett and Alvarez are like for like subs, but like that move changes the dynamic of the midfield, and I love that. It really. And it shows, like, I mean, it's all in attack and a little less refined, I would say Skinner is on the attack than Hilton. Hilton's, like wants to ping a long ball and and it also, that man needs a break. He is an Energizer bunny that isn't as young as he used to be, and he shouldn't be playing 90 every day or every week, but it's good. The Alvarez is young, and he's just, if we can lock him up long term and build an attack around him, we will be dangerous for the foreseeable future after this. But it's a big if. Like, I mean, I'm not in the coach's room. I don't know what's going to happen beyond this season. We're probably going to have new owners. So like, what is their investment? But positively speaking, just from this game, I liked everything I saw. North Carolina doesn't really scare me too much. So like, if we can build upon this game, I mean, they were like our bogey team back in the day. Brian, like when they were the Railhawks and like Brian Shriver, that bald headed bastard.
God, I'd forgotten. I blocked all that out of my memory. Thank you for bringing all that back. I remember him coming in and scoring a goal and just being the absolute douchiest dude. Like,
Well, yeah.
celebrate part of the mob.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yep. So, there's some pent up anger from long ago brought back up here for this one. So it'll be nice to get that win. I don't remember where they are in the table, to be honest, but they still don't really scare me. Like, I mean, I guess at this point, when you're as bad as we are, or have been, that not a lot of teams are scary. You just either expect, if you go in with like, where are they? They're fourth place.
Yeah. But look at how many points, though. I mean,
yeah, that's true. God,
I was
Louisville
looking
and
at the same thing.
Charleston are.
They've played 17 games, 8 wins, 2 draws, 7 losses. I mean, they're a 500 team.
Yeah. Yep.
And they got 26 goals for, 24 against. So they get a +2 goal differential.
Yeah,
I
they're
mean,
mediocre.
yeah. I mean, but I mean, that's the middle of the playoff teams right now. That's all of them. I mean, because really, you get outside of Louisville and Charleston, and I mean, really, I mean, everyone else is just, they're kind of in it, because you got 41 points for Louisville, 41 points Charleston, and then 27 for Loudon in third.
Yeah,
it's a
Loudon just started so hot and then have just crashed back down to earth, which was expected.
Well, I mean, we did the same thing 3 years ago. I mean, we came out of the gates and won 10 in a row, and then we kept fumbling our way into the playoffs.
So we do best.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Damn it. I wanted to say something different, but you're right.
I want to make this a little more existential, and it is more than likely the Stu Sternberg era of the Rays Rowdies is coming to an end.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's almost definite. And the Rays not doing so hot, kind of trailing off here, and the Rowdies are putting up possibly one of their worst seasons in recent memory. Or they can, the Rowdies can rally. But I went into Saturday's game writing a narrative in my head about like Stu Sternberg changed the Rays from the Devil Rays to the Rays and made them almost a pretty much contender, at least a playoff team almost every year.
Yeah.
This year, not so much.
And the
now
toughest division in baseball at that.
Right. Right. Like I can sing a lot. I know Stu gets a lot of hate from Rays fans. I can sing a lot of praises on that end. And he took a Tampa Bay team that was floundering for a bit. You know, like Thomas Rongen was a misfire. Stu Campbell never got going. Bill Edwards got Neil Collins, and then Neil Collins really succeeded under the Rays.
Yeah.
And so it feels like the Rays came in raging, like with a huge successes, and then are just petering out. And like, it feels like this is the Stu Sternberg swan song, and it's not great.
Yeah.
But then the Rowdies came back, and you know, like they're still on life support, but the heart is beating again. And it's like, okay, if I want to tie it to the Stu Sternberg era, that is a very good analogy of what he's done for the franchises that he owns. You know, you can't really ever count him out and whatever. And like, I had this whole thing about that. And then it's like, but now it's shifting back to the original thing, our original theme of like resiliency and comebacks and like these resilient Rowdies coming back after hurricanes destroyed this, and you know, Hurricane Robbie Nielsen destroyed the team. And that's really unfair to Robbie. I'm sorry, but like, there's two competing narratives in my head right now, and like, we won't know until if we make the playoffs or not. But what is your thoughts? Because I think they said like September or October the sale is likely to go through, where it's beginning of August. So let's just say that this might be the last month of the Stu Sternberg era for the Rowdies and the Rays. I'm not sure if the Rowdies are even included. I'm just assuming they are. Like, what has been your I know it's your employer, so you have to tread carefully here. But I mean, I don't think Stu Sternberg, they're going to fire you for this last month if they're even paying attention at this point. What is your feel as a fan of the Rowdies and if the Rays, because I've been a big fan of both. What has been your take on this Stu Sternberg era?
I mean, as a whole, I think you have to say it was stability, right? I think what they did is, because what was Bill Edwards? I mean, Bill Edwards, his motto was throw money at it, just throw money at it, which, look, in some ways it worked. I mean, it did work to a degree. I mean, maybe not so much the results on the field, but fans in the stands. There was always extra stuff going on. We were bringing in concerts. We had all these things happening. And I think as a fan looking kind of at a larger take, like step back from just the play on the field, I think there was a lot of fun to that. However, working inside of that was also, you know, it was turmoil, it was chaos, always chaos. You just never knew what you're getting whenever the guy pulled up in that overly priced Mercedes of his. Whereas like Stu, and I can say this as somebody who has talked to Stu on a personal level. Me personally, people can have their opinions of Stu, whatever they want. I don't care. I love Stu. He's Uncle Stu. He's a great guy. He will sit down with you and just have a regular conversation like anybody else. One of the coolest guys I have ever worked for. And what he did the same thing like you alluded to with the Rays. He brought a calmness. He allowed the people that he hired for the roles to do their job and got the hell out of the way. And I think as an owner, it's really easy to be either a Jerry Jones or somebody else, right? It's easy to want to just like, I can do this better, or trust your gut and allow teams like a Jeff Innick, allow the people you hire good people to do the job and let them do the job. And there was a stability. I mean, there was a consistency, there was a belief, there was a support, even when Rowdies would have little lulls. I mean, Matt and Brian were always happy to just kind of step in. Hey, we support Neil, we support Lee, we support the club. We believe these guys are in the right direction. And when they needed somebody, when a player was necessary, they made a move that they'd have to make. I think for the most part, they always made good quality pickups in the offseason. Yeah, it was great. There was a stability to it that I think was very comfortable. I think having been inside and working in this environment, I think there is another level that you can reach in a different way. We have done this tactic now for 5 seasons under Stu. And I'll be interested to see how these new guys, should it all go down the way they say it's going to go down. I mean, everything that I've heard, and it's the same that you guys hear on the radio and through Twitter and news articles, is the Rowdies are a part of this deal. They are going to come along. Is it a long-term thing, short-term thing? Who knows? But at least for the end of this season, they're going to be a part of the vision, and it's going to be interesting to see how things go. As a whole, I'm very happy that Stu bought the team when he did. I think the Rays have done a wonderful job supporting the staff, supporting the players, supporting the organization and the fans, and I think doing a pretty good job of helping cultivate a winning franchise and they've been good stewards, should I say. I think is probably the word I'm looking for. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm happy to see what comes next. I mean, it could be great, it could be awful. Who knows? But for now, all I can say is I've enjoyed this ride. Um, I've enjoyed the access that I've been able to keep since leaving the Rowdies and going to the Rays. Um, and I'm I have nothing but good things to say about Stu Sternberg as an owner. I think he's been absolutely wonderful for the Rowdies. So
But
yeah,
that Brian Alt guy, he's just no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
those guys are awful. So unlikable as a
Yeah.
person. I mean, you've met Brian. I mean, that guy, he can talk to anybody. He is
Yeah.
just, yeah.
I mean, and my motto has always been, I trust Matt Silverman with my life. But yeah, and Brian, they've been great. But yeah, like I was just thinking, because like sometimes every now and again, I get this like itch in my brain to like be a little bit of a journalist and want to write something for this. And then I'm like, no, I don't. I don't actually want to do any of that. So I was just like, I was thinking, like just, it has been the Bill Edwards. I think you're right. Like the Bill Edwards era was he took over when we were still in the NASL 2.0, and it felt like a throwback to the original NASL. I mean, hell, Willie Hunt even got arrested for like cocaine. Like,
Yes.
it was
Wow. Forgot all about that one.
yeah, like it was these things happen, and it felt it definitely like a helicopter drying the field, Joe Cole coming over, Marcel Schaefer coming over. Like it felt like a bygone era. In hindsight, like now that we have like the Rays stability and like an actual lower division soccer model of not buying, Joe Cole or Marcel Schaefer and bringing them over. So it definitely felt different, and the success followed. Like they put their trust in Neil Collins, and like you said, and like let him blossom, and he is one of the best coaches in the league still. And it's weird. It kind of sucks that they're going out on such a down year, because they really shored up a lot of the infrastructure. And I think no matter who is going to be the owner, short term, long term, like Bill Edwards saved the club and like brought them into life. And I think the Rays just has allowed them to be stable and consistent and sustainable. The Bill Edwards model is not sustainable.
No, it was not. God, I mean, who flies in a helicopter to put on the illusion of drying the field?
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm going to miss the days of a Drogba coming in to play from Phoenix against Joe Cole and Marcel. I mean, like these incredible, you're like, is this even real? We're second division soccer, and I've got Drogba out here just balling on the field. Like
you also had Raul up in the Cosmos. Like
yes,
what were we doing?
like
Everybody's talking about Messi, but like we had it. We had it real in, playing in Hofstra or like these baseball stadiums, and Drogba's like, what am I doing? Flying to Edmonton, what were we doing?
I mean, I'm going to miss that. I mean, there is a part of me that will always miss that excitement. It was crazy. It was completely unsustainable. It's why, I mean, the NASL has folded time and time and time again. The model just doesn't work.
No.
And I mean, if you look at the teams that are successful, it is owners like Stu Sternberg, the ones that own Louisville, Charleston, some of the West Coast teams. I mean, like, it's the stable owners that allow the soccer decision makers to be decision makers. Yep. And I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm with you. It sucks to see it go out like this because both teams are doing the same thing right now. It's tough as a Rays or Rowdies fan. I mean, like I worked a game this weekend, all the games this weekend for the Dodgers series, and part of me is like, cool, I'm seeing Ohtani and some of these other incredible players, and seeing Blake Snell. Like okay, it's cool, but I'm like, damn, like I want to win, man. Like I just like you see the talent we have, like we can be better than this, and it's just not working. And it's the same thing with the Rowdies. I mean, like there's so many talented players, and there's just It's just not happening this year. And for all the good that people want to not give Stu Sternberg credit for, which I think is completely unfair. He deserves his hate. He gets what he gets. I understand people have the right to feel however they're going to feel. I can only speak from my own personal experience and connection to the team, and that is for a guy that has done so much good, I think not just for staff, and I'm not talking about just baseball people or just soccer people, like the people that are coaches and trainers and stuff. I mean, staff. Like, there's so many great people behind the scenes that, like Dan, you know quite a few of them. I mean, quite a few. I mean, there's a lot of amazing people behind the scenes that have been able to grow and even move on in some circumstances because of his leadership. And I think that's something that I think his legacy should be mounted on. Not just, oh, they're in St. Pete versus Tampa. I mean, we got rid of this player versus that player. I mean, I don't know. I think if you step away from just the game and look at it as a whole, he's done more good for both franchises than bad.
Yeah, I mean, on a personal level, Stu Sternberg's Tampa Bay Rays made me fall in love with baseball. Like that was it. Like I've been to Mets games, I've been to Yankees games growing up here. Went to a couple down there before when they were the Devil Rays and we were awful. But like Stu Sternberg's Tampa Bay Rays made me fall in love with baseball, which made me really like a real sports fan in general. Was a casual sports fan when I moved to Florida because I couldn't. We're old. You and I are old. When I moved to Florida, streaming wasn't an option. So like the teams, like my New York Islanders, I didn't get to watch, or like, like those teams. That was my main, like hockey was my main thing. So like sports faded from my like brain growing up because the Lightning sucked. Like everybody sucked, and I wasn't really out. But the Tampa Bay Rays was the first Tampa Bay team I fell in love with. Stu Sternberg's buying that team just not revolutionized, but like revitalized the Rays and turned them into that 2008 season was some of my favorite sports memories. Casey and I were talking the other day, and she's like, it's like the whatever anniversary of the American with Disabilities Act, and I was like, it's also the 15th anniversary of Matt Garza throwing a no hitter.
Yep.
So like. And then you take the Rowdies and what everything they've done, like the back-to-back Eastern Conference championships. We would have won the league in 2020, and I think we should, like there was the Stu Sternberg era. It does suck that it's going out this way. And my advice to whoever is going to be owning the Rowdies, the one thing I would take from the Bill Edwards era is advertise this club in the community. That deal with Kawa, having people on the windows and like the billboards, like even a TV commercial or two. Like the one thing the Rays got wrong was just not promoting the club, like just assuming word of mouth. And I think, we were playing our best soccer, we were doing things, and yes, the pandemic did hurt, but like they didn't after that come out with an ad blitz saying like we're still here, we're like one of the best. So I think that would be my one thing I would say as a fan I would like to see the new owners do from the previous era. But if you could find a way to take Bill Edwards' advertising and the Rays Stu Sternberg's like stability and put it together, I think we could grow this club even more
and win. I mean, just
Yes.
throwing that out there and
Yes,
win.
please. That's important.
God, but no, you're absolutely right. Because if you look at the consistency as far as like season ticket holders and average attendance from Bill Edwards to post COVID, I mean, there's an obvious drop off. I mean, I understand that, I joke about the winning solves everything, but at the same time though, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's been a gripe that I've had. I've voiced it to Ryan on a couple occasions. It's just like, we don't do enough in that department. Like, you can't just rely on posting on social media. I get that's where people mostly are, but there has to be other ways. I mean, like the old street teams, the having the pop-up cart where Nancy would run it over at the International Mall. I mean, just little things do go a long way. They don't always have the same returns from week to week, but they do allow for more exposure. And I think that's something that I'm sure we have people in departments that probably know way more about how to target it. But yes, I would love to see us do a better job at targeting a larger audience. Because again, the Rowdies are the original sports franchise of Tampa Bay. I mean, they are the OGs. I get that we had a little time away, but that's why we're Rowdies first. I was Rowdies first. Before I was any other homer for any other Tampa Bay team, I was Rowdies first. Like I didn't know about any, like I didn't really follow the Bugs. I didn't follow the Lightning. I didn't even follow the Rays. Shoot. I became a Rays fan working for the Rays. I mean, I wasn't even a baseball fan. And now I love it. I'm reading stats about baseball. Like, I'm excited about Otani. Like,
Baseball, I have I mean, I'm wearing a Brooklyn. Well, this has three meanings. One, I love baseball and its history and whatever. Two, I live in Brooklyn now. And
Yeah.
three, the Rowdies communications manager, our very own Jake Nutting, also had a hat like this. So I'm just trying to be Jake.
that's fair. But guys, don't let him fool you though. This man sends me garbage New York picture posts all the time, just mocking me behind the scenes. So don't buy into this whole I love my Rays mindset. This guy is a jerk. He posts about how great the Yankees games are all the time. His Yankees hat. So, I just want to make sure that we're clear here, okay? I have never worn a non-Tampa Bay Teams jersey. I would never do that to you.
I don't have a jersey. I do not have any other jersey.
Fine, but you wear like T-shirts and hats for other teams. I'll give you the Islanders. Look, I will give you that one. But the Yankees?
Sorry, I do. Casey's right. I do have a Mets jersey, but that Mets jersey was from high school. I don't even think the Rays existed yet.
But you have a deep connection to the Mets.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Islanders. Like that, I totally get. It's like when I moved to Colorado and I became a Colorado fan, I bought in. I mean, I was living there. I was like, all right, well, I live here now. I'm going to support the local teams. But I never gave up my Tampa roots. It's like I was all like, if the Lightning were playing, I'm rooting for the Lightning. It is.
My rule was always, even in Tampa, if I'm going to go watch like an Islander Lightning game, because the Lightning are the home team, I will wear the Lightning gear. If I watch like a Lightning Islander game up here, I'll go in Islander gear. Like it's just a home team. One, maybe I just don't want to get into any fights. Or two, like
That's fair.
So I will put a Yankee hat on if I'm going to a Yankee game. Those days are probably over now because it's like an hour train ride again.
Oh, thank God. I don't listen to those posts anymore. Dude, it wasn't just like one picture you sent me. Like it was multiple pictures on multiple occasions. Guys, he was straight up trolling me. Like it
definitely was.
It was awful. I'm like, you go away, sir. I don't like you.
Because I mean, last week I was at the Rays Yankees game in my Rays gear.
To be fair, you were.
My Rays hat, my Rays jersey, and my Gareth, my best friend, T-shirt on. We used every year. Gareth and I would go to a Rays game for a birthday, and he couldn't make it up here this year for it. So I brought him to a Rays Yankees game, and then they won. The Rays won.
Yeah, and to be fair, I want to get up there and actually see Yankee Stadium. Like, I really want to go to a game there. I hear it's incredible. I mean,
it's great.
That'd be nice. Like, it's again, like to the point was like I've become a baseball fan, and I get it. When you have some stake in the game, like I get that. It's like when I got into NASCAR. Look, long stretch here, just deal with the people. All right, I was working at Home Depot at the time that Tony Stewart was the driver for the team. Okay, this is a long time.
Were they racing Ford Model Ts? How long ago is this?
Don't you ever mess with smoke, all right? Tony Stewart is the freaking man, all right? And that year, he won the championship. So I was like, I'm working for Home Depot. There's all this advertising for Tony Stewart. I started to follow him, and in turn started following more of the storylines. It's like wrestling. Like, I mean, wrestling is one of those things where if you just watch one event here and there, it doesn't have the same meaning. It's still entertaining. But when you know the storylines with, like, for instance, the Seth Rollins knocking out CM Punk, calling the Money in the Bank right after he wins. I mean, that is legendary stuff right there.
Did you watch SummerSlam? Is that what you're admitting?
I did watch some of SummerSlam, and I rewatched that part because that was pretty epic. I mean, I'm not a Seth Rollins fan, but that was unbelievable. I mean, it's just so masterfully done. I was so proud of him. But the whole point is, like, if you get to know the storyline, just like we're a soccer podcast, get back to soccer. The same thing, like we understand these players, we understand the teams they come from, we understand how absurd it is, that Loudness in third place right now because they were the punching bag for the last 6-7 years. It's like the league is crazy like that. And it's just, when you're invested in it, it just, all these things just take on so much more meaning. And that's kind of where I was at it.
Yeah, no, you're right. And like, I guess to pull it back, like, the Rowdies are like my number one team, and we will be back. I think this is just an off year. I don't think this is who this team is at now. I don't think this is anything other than an off year. We had a lot of stress in the last year with, first the surprise random loss of Neil Collins like a year and a half ago, the 2 hurricanes knocking out our home, Robbie Nielsen not really meshing well with the league and like, and then in the culture. So like, a lot of stuff has happened. I think we've made the right hire for the long term. I think we've brought in a couple of good players for the future, and we have stuff to build upon. So I think we'll be right back fighting Louisville and ruining their day as much as possible next season. But this league is crazy. So I mean, we'll do hopefully a couple more of these before the sale actually goes through. So it doesn't need to be our goodbye, Stu, or like our, like waxing poetic about it. But I did want to get it out of the way. Like I did, because I did have that thought of like, it sucks. This is the way this is going out. But I am excited for the future, both front office wise and on the field after these results. As we mentioned, we are playing North Carolina in North Carolina this weekend. I am not too worried. Like you said, they're in like fourth, fifth, or like whatever place. Like everybody's above us except for like Hartford at this point. Or so like I'm not too concerned. It is good. It's on ESPN Plus. But I really don't have much to say as like a match preview. Like it's just win.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. So I mean, like the big thing here is just coming out, I think, again, and just doing more of what we did in this game and applying it, and just helping shore up defensively our roles and responsibilities and how we cover each other. Because while bend don't break is good, it's not so good when you're going against Louisville, Charleston, which every time you break, it's a goal, right? It's like we can get away with that with some of these lower. I say lower. We're below them. So, the teams that are not Louisville and Charleston, we can get away with it to some degree, but we can't bank on that being our solution. And I'm not saying that we are. Look, this game's going to be hot. I mean, it's going to be, at least, like I ride my bike around downtown. I'm going to do it tonight after this. It's currently 9:00. I love doing it like a 9:30 ride. The breeze is incredible. It is so nice out. There is no breeze in North Carolina. It is just hot and muggy. Although my brother's up there right now and it was like 7 degrees, so maybe I'm wrong. I'm going to be curious to see what the temps are. But it has the
It has
potential to be
definitely cooled up here. Like it was like 90s and stuff for like whatever. But this week it has been like right now it's 77 outside. This weekend it's like 83.
Yeah, so it may not even be a factor. But I mean, look, the fact that they are essentially a 500 team, I think for us, which are finding our footing, it's important that we really finish our chances. And like you've said, week after week after week, it cannot just be Woobins. It cannot just be him putting balls in the back of the net. So it's important that other guys are threatening the goal and finishing their chances. We'll see. I mean, I think this is a very winnable game. Yeah, we're home after this game. Wow. I've lost time.
I don't know if that's reassuring, though. We have a better record on the road, believe it or not, this season than we do at home.
Yeah, but you know what, though? So I was getting on, I wouldn't say I was getting on fans. I was trying to rally fans for whenever the team comes home about really being that 12th man. I think this is a good chance to come home after having kind of them really bond as a unit away. And I think having success while doing so, I think them coming home offers a new opportunity against a Phoenix team, which, to be fair, not doing that great. They're sitting in 6th, but wow, what a great number. They're 6, 6, and 6.
They are the devil.
Wow, that actually is kind of poetic. But look, they're this is a team that to take on at home after finding some good wins and getting some other players to put the ball in the back. This is a good chance for us, I think, to really kind of set something forward. Nothing's going to be given. It's going to be dogfights no matter what. At this point of the year, everyone's trying their best to get into the playoff spots. Those that are in it want it. Those that are in it want to keep it. And it's, none of these games are going to be easy through the end of the year, right? And so let's never forget, we traveled light here to this last game. We had 17 players. That's it because of injuries and such. So we need guys to get healthy too. We need these guys to come back and be available. Your best commodity is your availability, right? So, it's going to be interesting to see how things go over the next couple of weeks.
You brought up, we've talked playoffs a little bit. We've talked standings. My next question to round out this podcast before we call it, 8 teams total miss the playoffs, which is like what, a third of all of the teams in the league? Because 8 make it, 16 make it. Yeah. So a third of the teams don't make it. 2/3 make the playoffs. Would you rather do you like that format, or would you like to cut it to less teams in the playoffs and make the regular season and the playoffs a little bit more meaningful? Even if you make it like 6 teams make the playoffs, you just cut
I
2
was
from
gonna
each
say,
like.
if you cut it, it's got to be 6 teams. I think you obviously have to keep it even, right? Because we're for the first time in a while, we're not even in the picture yet. I don't know that I like that, but I mean, to be fair with where I expect this team to be, considering every year, yeah, because I think it takes an extra game off the schedule as well. Puts more emphasis on the regular season. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing it go to a 6 team and see how that goes for a couple seasons. I mean, I don't think a whole lot changes by doing that. I mean, it could be costly to some other teams losing on the opportunity to host another game, but really, if you're in those bottom two teams, you're not home first round anyways or second round, unless by some chance. I mean, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be against. I wonder how much of that is like a financial decision because the home team would get obviously the revenue from another home game. Because
But
I
less
mean,
teams have to
revenue I lowered
travel.
it right, but for the home team though, I mean, the home team would get to host another game. Like, so Louisville's going to miss out on a chance to have another home game host, and they generate X amount of dollars off of that. Would they want as a team? Because let's be honest, I mean, lower division soccer, you're not really generating money. So I don't know. I mean, look, I think, yeah, you know what? Screw it. I'll pick a side. I'll stop being wishy washy. Yeah, I think going to a 16 would be good. I think it puts more emphasis on the importance of the playoffs. I think you'll see a lot more fight between teams, especially in that 4 to 10 range.
Yeah, like I mean, we can still this was inspired. I hate to give him credit for anything for Stephen Cundiff saying like,
Okay.
this he commented on the Facebook post about me that I made about like the playoffs and whatnot and the standings, and he's like, well, when more teams make it to not, like, there's in this league the way it's set up, like you're never really out of it. Which I was like, yeah, unless you're Miami last year where they won like 1 game, but like, is that good? Like, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out as a fan or as a club, is that good or like is that bad like competition wise? Like if I'm where we play what 30 games regular season this year because they took off some for the Jaeger Cup. Do those 30 games matter? Like if the Rowdies somehow squeak into like 8th place or even 6th place somehow, like does the regular season really matter that much? Like or like it still does because no matter what you've come back from what we did and made the playoffs and we deserve it, but is really like from 12 to like going from 12th to through 8 really that big of a difference? I don't think so I don't know. I've been trying to go, and I think I'm with you. Like I think a 16 playoffs would be better for like competition wise. I think you would have better playoff matches, in my opinion. So, like, I don't know, like there's that one year where we played Tulsa and blew them out like 6-0 in the playoffs, and it was like, this is fun as a Rowdies fan, but if I was a casual fan watching a playoff game and I just watched a team like blow them out like that, like I don't know if like. So I think I'm with you. I think 6 teams is probably the magic number for me, whether or not that means we don't make the playoffs this year or not. But I think I like it.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the points, look at the difference of points from 6 down to 12. I mean, you're talking 21 points to 16 points. I mean, that's not a huge difference. So, I mean, if anything, look, it puts more emphasis on those bottom 6 teams to really fight it out and really put out a better product. Like, think if you're the 7th team and you just miss out, like, how hungry are you going to be that next year? Like, yeah, I think it's good. I think, and getting rid of, to your point, like that extra game, like when we played Tulsa and it was just a shellacking, which, while fun, it's always fun to watch your team win. What did it do for us in the actual, picture of the
Yeah.
playoffs? Nothing.
Yeah. Like
So,
Louisville's going to trounce whoever's in 8th place.
yeah. Yeah, I'm with you there. I mean, like right now it's Birmingham, and I look at Louisville and I look at Charleston, and it's just like, holy crap, dude. I mean, look, for instance, goals for, goals against. Louisville, 34 goals for, 14 goals against. Huh. Okay. Charleston, 38 goals for, 16 goals against. Like, holy crap, dude. And I mean, and I get that we did well against Charleston in the Jägermeister Cup, but I mean, there's Charleston in the Jägermeister Cup and Charleston in the playoffs. Same thing, Louisville. I mean, I mean, and as a team that has been in that position multiple times, it's just a different level. Um, So yeah, I'm with you, man. I think I'd like to see a 6. I think that'd be interesting. And plus, I like the introduction of the Jägermeister Cup. I think there's opportunities where there's every reason that any one of those bottom 7 teams could actually excel in that tournament if these top 3-4 teams don't take the tournament seriously. So it's like there's opportunities to have success within the season, not just in the playoffs, if you take it seriously.
Yeah, I think the introduction of the Jaeger Cup should also mean, like, if we're shortening the season, shorten the amount of teams that make the playoffs, because now there is technically three opportunities to win a trophy. So that I think that should be something in future consideration. But we all know that in soccer, more games is more than likely. I will say, I was really shocked to hear that they took league games away for the Jägermeister group stage. I thought that was one of the best moves from a labor standpoint, not putting more miles on these guys' legs. I loved that. So, but yeah, I think there's a conversation that should be had, in my opinion, and apparently we're in agreement. Do you have anything else, or like should we rock on to a "We Love You"? We're almost right at an hour, so
I was going to say, let's do the "We Love You." I mean, I think we're at that point.
All right.
Go ahead.
I was going to say I don't really have one.
Okay.
So
I will give mine. If you come up with one, great. I'm going to give it to Luis Alvarez and honor his first goal in the green and gold. I was really happy for this kid. I have really been impressed with him from the day he came in and actually started playing. I'm really excited for him, and I think this is going to be the first of many over I think his career with us. So my "We Love You" goes to Luis Alvarez.
I second that. I'll go with it.
All right, that works. That's good. All right. Second agreement. Not always great for podcasting. Good for morale. All right, guys. Well, I think with that, man.
Hold on. I do have another one. I do have one. Justin, the producer in the ear behind me.
Crap.
Amanda Guillen, happy birthday. She gets a shout out. The actual captain of the Rowdies. We know that her husband is just the front. So we'll give a nice happy birthday. We love you to Amanda Guillen.
All right. I'll go with that one. Happy birthday. All right, guys. Well, on that note, I think we're going to call it a show. We actually made an hour this time. This is what happens when two people are here, not just one. And I fumbled my way through about 20 minutes of it. So, Dan, it's really good to have you back, man. It's nice to have you on here.
I should be back regularly again for a little bit, unless Casey has made plans that I don't know about yet. So we'll see.
I've been telling people, look, we are adults. We have busy lives. We have lots of things happening. It is what it is. You're lucky either one of us shows up. So
that's true.
So, all right. Well, guys, that's where We Love You. That's the show. I'll get it out as soon as I can. And Dan, we'll talk to you soon, man.
Yeah.
Come
talk
on,
to you next week.
The Rowdies run here, the Rowdies run there, they kick the ball around. The Rowdies run here, the Rowdies run there, and then they fall on the ground. Oh, the Rowdies, the Rowdies, the Rowdies are kicking the grass. When the Rowdies play soccer, it's a sight to behold. You'll swear they'll be devils with magical toes. You'll laugh, you'll cheer, you'll leap from your seat when they kick with their head instead of their feet. The Rowdies run here, the Rowdies run there, they kick the ball around. The Rowdies run here, the Rowdies run there, and then they fall on the ground. Oh, the Rowdies, the Rowdies, the Rowdies are kicking the grass. When the Tampa Bay Rowdies take the field, there's a roar. The fans loyal fannies to the team they adore. There's music, there's laughter, pretty girls all around.